Morning, all. All right, so we've got 6 games today in the National Hockey League, and we've got 5 of them starting at 7 o'clock Eastern, 4 o'clock Pacific, and then 2 hours later, the other game ends up showing up. You can really tell that the Vancouver games are kind of placed all over the schedule because they don't really fit in with the time scheme of the rest of the schedule. So we look at tonight's schedule. You got everything all starting at the same time. Most of the East is in action, I do again like this situation. I think it's kind of fun. 7 o'clock Eastern, 4 o'clock Pacific. We have the Chicago Blackhawks and the Carolina Hurricanes. Chicago is eliminated. We'll see how they do tonight if they're going to try to at least challenge Carolina's ability to cruise to first place in the division, potentially a President's Trophy, right? Carolina's 36-10-7. Chicago's 22-25-6. Carolina has won 5 out of 7 matchups between these teams, so this is the final matchup, and we'll see how it goes. Alex DeBrincat, 28 goals, 23 assists, 51 points. Absolutely fantastic season for him. Nice to see him back and scoring some goals. And Kirby Dach, 18 games, 2 goals, 8 assists, 10 points. Guy's going to be a beast. Really anxious to see how the rest of his career turns out. On the Carolina side, Aho, 24 goals, 33 assists, 57 points. What is there to say about Sebastian Aho other than he's absolutely a fantastic player, consistent effort night in and night out, and I would think future captain of the team. Slavin, 3 goals, 12 assists for Slavin. Very good season for him. He's one of the best defensive defensemen in the National Hockey League. Over their last 10, Chicago's 2-7-1 as they've backed out of contention. Carolina 7-0-3. So no losses in regulation in the last 10 for Carolina. Also at 7 Eastern, 4 Pacific, the embattled New York Rangers in against the Boston Bruins. The tenderized New York Rangers in against the Boston Bruins. Boston had to be happy watching that game last night. Boston's 31-14-7. The Rangers are 26-22-6. Boston's won 4 out of 6 in this series so far this year. Now, of course, Boston trying to move their way up the standings as much as possible. They are currently third in the division. They'll be trying to at least stay third. The other thing they liked about that game last night is there was some tenderization going on with the Capitals as well. Boston has a game with the Capitals before the season's out, too. So Boston may very well still be a threat for first place. Lafreniere, 11 goals, 9 assists for him. He has had a fantastic second half to the season. Zibanejad, 22 goals, 26 assists, 48 points. Really bounced back from a slow start. On the Boston side, Pastrnak, 19 goals, 26 assists. A quiet 19 goals, 26 assists from Pastrnak. McAvoy, 4 goals, 23 assists, 27 points. Really stepped up this year and taken his game to that next level. Over their last 10, the Rangers are 4-6. Boston is 7-2-1. 7 o'clock Eastern, 4 o'clock Pacific. New Jersey and the New York Islanders. New Jersey 18-28-7 with facial hair. New York Islanders 31-16-6 without facial hair. And there are former players of the Devils who had facial hair that no longer do. So they may have to reintroduce themselves. Who are you? I'm Kyle Palmieri. You look so young. Islanders, 5 wins in 6 games for them against the New Jersey Devils. We'll see how it goes tonight. New Jersey, Zacha, 15 goals, 18 assists, 33 points. Very good season for him. Jack Hughes has really started to hit that next level. 11 goals, 20 assists for him. He's prominent in every single game. It's only a matter of time before he's a point-per-game player. Pajot, 14 goals, 14 assists. Has been just as useful for the Islanders as he was for the Ottawa Senators. Nelson, 16 goals, 14 assists, might be their best goal scorer. And the Islanders getting ready for the playoffs, but they need to start winning some games, get some momentum going into it. New Jersey, 4-5-1 in their last 10. The Islanders, 4-4-2. So definitely should be looking to, win this couple of games here with New Jersey and get some confidence going here. 7 Eastern, 4 Pacific as well. The Buffalo Sabres in against the Pittsburgh Penguins. Buffalo proving that playing spoiler can be fun. Pittsburgh's won 5 out of 6 against Buffalo, but Buffalo 15-32-7. The Pittsburgh Penguins 35-16-3. Buffalo has shown recently they can still spoil games. And we'll see if Hauser can win a whole bunch of games as well. Well, not a whole bunch. There aren't a lot left, but still, it's kind of fun to see that guy in the net. Olofsson, 13 goals, 19 assists for Buffalo. Skinner, 6 goals, 7 assists, 13 points. It'll be interesting to see what happens with Skinner's contract over the short and long term. I don't know that it's tradable at all. Malkin, 8 goals, 19 assists, 27 points. Of course, he hasn't played every game, but Malkin, since returning, has had points in each game. Crosby, 23 goals, 37 assists, 60 points. Just another season for Crosby. Another season of more than a point a game. Ho-hum, right? Last 10 games, Buffalo's a competitive 4-6, whereas Pittsburgh's 7-3. So Pittsburgh, pretty nice run going on in an Eastern Division where you've got arguably all 4 teams could end up going on a run here. 7 o'clock Eastern, 4 o'clock Pacific. We also have Montreal and Toronto. Toronto's won 5 out of 8. And as of last night's games, all of a sudden it looks like Montreal, that probably ends up finishing 4th, right? Montreal 24, 19, and 9. Toronto's 33, 13, and 6. They've won 5 out of 8 in this series. And we'll see how it goes tonight. Suzuki, 12 goals, 26 assists, 38 points. He has been playing much better recently than he was during his slump. Toffoli, 28 goals, 14 assists, 42 points. It's a shame it's not a full season because, yeah, Toffoli, that's something. Matthews, 39 goals, 24 assists, 63 points. He's going to win the Rocket Richard Trophy. We can all have the debates later. I wouldn't be surprised if he wins it next year, too, though. Riley, 5 goals, 29 assists, 34 points. And I think Riley's been good. The advanced stats crowd will tell you he's been bad. And we'll see what the Leafs think when his contract's up. I believe that's next year. Last 10 games, Montreal 5-5, Toronto 5-2-3. So there you go. Toronto, I think, should probably win this game, and they could be setting themselves up for a playoff series against the Montreal Canadiens, which would draw a ton of ratings. Let's be honest, Rogers would be doing backflips at the idea of these two teams against each other in the playoffs. And then at 9 Eastern, 6 o'clock Pacific, the game that's been moved to this date, the Vancouver Canucks and Edmonton Oilers. Vancouver, 19, 25, and 3 overall. They've lost 6 in a row in regulation. I expect them to lose every game here on out in regulation. Finish behind the Senators. Finish behind a lot of the bottom feeder teams in the NHL. And we'll see what happens at the draft. The Oilers, 32, 17, and 2. They've won 5 out of 7 against Vancouver. Act surprised when they win the next 3. Besser, 19 goals, 20 assists. He had a goal in the last game. He had a goal in the game before that. Sure, Besser. Schmidt, 5 goals, 9 assists, 14 points. I think he's bounced back from what was a very slow start. I think it's understandable he had a rough year his first year in Vancouver. Hopefully he sticks around. Nurse, 16 goals, 17 assists. Tons of goals, tons of points for him. And yet, again, the advanced stats crowd will tell you they're not sold on Nurse defensively. McDavid, 31 goals, 62 assists, 93 points. I mean, I don't put all the advanced stats all over the board, but I pay attention. McDavid, 31 goals, 62 assists, 93 points. He's 7 away from 100. He's going to get it. He's going to get it. There's no question in my mind he's going to get it. Over their last 10, Vancouver's 3-7. Like I said, they've lost 6 in a row in regulation. And the Oilers are 7-3. And I expect the Oilers to win. That's the Oilers jersey. No, I'm not trying to jinx them. It's not possible. Not with Vancouver as tired and as beat up as they are. Last game, they had 8 regulars out. We'll see how many are out tonight. And, yeah, I just hope nobody gets badly hurt and all that stuff. And fingers crossed for the rest of the season to end painlessly. And then we get into next year. All right. And there's 15 different fan bases that are going to be saying, hey, what about next year? As soon as, say, a week and a half, 2 weeks from now. All right. Thank you guys so much for watching. Let me know your winners for these games in the comment section below as always. Don't forget to hit like and subscribe if you're browsing your way through. You just happened upon this video. I will talk to you guys soon.